Well, they've kind of done the salt for you, but it's written in a way that you have to be able to look at it and understand all the stuff that's going on. So the first thing you're going to look at here is what is the story, so that you can set up your null and alternate. But everything else that you need is actually already given to you, plus a whole load of stuff you don't need. For instance, do you see that the p-value here is 0.0008? That is something you will use. And the Z is 3.16. But you probably you're probably not going to use the fact that the sample P is 0.479 for the first one and 0.267 for the other. So you're basically getting the whole package, and it's your job to selectively pick whatever piece of information you need to answer the question in front of you. Excuse me.
Okay.
Okay.
So I guess then this is just the same P minus P1 minus P2.
Yeah. And you have to just make sure that 1 is short students and 2 is not short students. Excuse me, the air quality is not very good today. My asthma's playing up.
No. Well, I think I could probably figure this one out because if everything's there.
Yeah, everything you need is actually given to you in this one, so you won't be using salt because of that.
So the interval, though, how do you find?
Did they mention an interval in this? No. The lower bound for the interval is the number 0.012. If you go up a bit, we'll tell you where it is again. Right, a little bit higher. Yeah, you found it, sorry. So the lower bound is 0.10282. Do you see that? 0.10282.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then the upper limit's the 0.2113.
You would think so, but not in this question. Let's just tick. It uses a word that's easy to miss. It's called a one-sided. Do you see the word one-sided? You have to go a bit lower. Keep going. I think you're on it. Come in. No, keep going. There we are. Now, do you see it says a one-sided 95% confidence interval? Yeah.
Oh, so does that mean it's positive and negative?
No, what it means is that you start with the number 0.10282, but you finish with 1. Because instead of doing either side of the middle, you start at this side and you finish at the end, which is 1. So it's just got one side to it that's actually got any value. So it's saying the answer you're looking for is somewhere between 0.1 and 100%. Right? That's what that's doing. And then you can use that in the same way that you would do in a normal hypothesis test. But can you remember doing confidence intervals, and if it contains 0, you couldn't reject the null hypothesis, right? There's no evidence. But if it didn't contain 0, in this case, it's all positive. So that's what D is about. So you just pick falls entirely above, because those numbers, you picked below falls entirely above. Oops. Right. And when you do that, you should be able to reject it. So it's the one above.
You should or you should not?
Should be. If your interval is always positive, you should be able to reject the null hypothesis if the null hypothesis says it should be bigger, in this case it is.